Good morning. I couldn't sleep last night because I was so excited about this ride. I'm actually starting from home, but it's quite a test for me, and I'll explain why later. But we're going to be doing a pretty long ride. But don't worry that we're not going to be getting in some fantastic historical stuff, because we're actually going to a city that was pillaged by Carthage hundreds of years before Christ walked on the earth. Now, I have a couple of little concerns. The main one being it's quite a long ride, but we've got some bad weather incoming later on this afternoon. We've got some huge thunderstorms currently sitting down to the south and west of us, and they're heading our way. So as you can see, the Ebro's just about burst its banks. About 2 days ago it was in full flood. It was quite something to behold. A horrible brown colour, really carrying tons and tons of sediment off down towards where we're going later. So today it's a test. I've been having lots of tests, so this is just so you can sort of catch up with what's been going on with me. Sorry, it's about me. I'll probably mention it and then not again. A bit like the cancer, no point dwelling on it, is there? But in August of 23 I went to A&E because I was having trouble with my heart, and I was there for 7 hours, and they released me, and they did loads and loads of tests and discovered that my heart was damaged. And since then I've had so many tests, because they can tell that the heart's damaged and they can see what's wrong with it, but they couldn't tell why. And so they've been testing me for a very rare condition called amyloidosis, and one of the tests came back positive. So that's sort of been hanging over me on and off since then. I had the final conclusive test a couple of months ago, a cardiac MRI, and went to see my cardiologist about a week or so ago, and I don't have it. It was a fantastic relief, an absolute enormous relief, because amyloidosis is terminal. Depending on what type you get between sort of 1 and maybe 10 or 12 years to live. But I don't have that. But what I have had is a heart attack. So those feelings of discomfort and pain, and then the palpitations that came afterwards, were because I have had a heart attack. And there is a fair bit of damage to my heart. What they've done is they put me on, it feels like just about every medication there is, and one of them is having a real detrimental effect on me, and they're beta blockers. And I'd heard of them, of course, but I never really realised what they did. And what they do is they massively slow your heart rate. So a super slow heart rate, fantastically useful if you're planning on taking a headshot to the President of France from over a mile, great. But for a cyclist who wants to go up hills and mountains, I'm not too sure. In fact, I'm fairly sure it's not good. So I did ask the question of a lot of very good people on a few online clubs that I'm in, and this is because I won't get to see my cardiologist again for a couple of weeks, whether they are on beta blockers and how it's affected them and their riding. And in a lot of cases, not all, in a lot of cases it's really quite seriously affected their riding. They have to really limit what they do in terms of the intensity. So I thought it'd obviously be a good idea to come and test what I can do. So we've got a long ride today. It's over 100 kilometers. I haven't done one since 2023, so that's going to be interesting. And I'm also going to push myself up some climbs, always with Mrs. Yakko in the rescue wagon, waiting in the wings, or waiting at the end of a telephone call anyway. Well, I hope you can see me. We're just climbing up through the fog. This is quite a low grade. It's only 3 and 4%, and I'm already actually feeling quite a big difference. I've been on a few rides, but they've mostly been flat. And what I'm expecting the effect to be is breathlessness. And if it gets worse, then I might start feeling dizzy, or my legs might actually just stop working because they are not getting enough oxygen to actually do their job. My sunglasses got so fogged I couldn't see where I was going. I'm not wearing my prescription glasses, so I can't see where I'm going. So normally now I'd be showing you the beautifully preserved Knights Templar Castle of Miravet. And Miravet usually gets into the top 5 most beautiful towns in Spain, and luckily it's about 20 minutes from my house by bike, but I can't show you it, so we're just going to get onto the climb. Now normally I push a little bit up this first part of the climb, it's 6%. I'd expect it to be near 130, which is what the limit was set by the cardiologist for the last year and a half. She's now said that I can go through that and go as high as I like for a limit of around 15 minutes. But she didn't tell me I was going to be on beta blockers, so the maximum is going to be rather less. We are up to 114 now, which normally is just like a really nice sort of lower zone 2 effort, and I'm really out of puff, as you can tell, which isn't right, but it's going to be my new future. Hola, bon dia. Could you all see him? Did you all know he was there? And me yakking away about my heart. They're coming. Miravet's famous for its cherry festival and cherry production, and I've noticed some are even being sold already. But the bulk of them are on their way, nearly there. One of the harder bits now. I'm still leaving the assist in the lowest level because I want to get a decent idea as to the effect. And I'm actually quite encouraged because, yes, it is hard work, but it's always hard work. Is it harder? Well, I'm just in a lower gear. So, no, not really, I'm just going slower. I can live with that. My concern was that I wouldn't really be able to do any hills at all. So yes, I am very, very encouraged. It's going to be quite interesting to see what my time is on that compared to my normal or even my PB. It'll be about 10 minutes longer, I would have guessed. I think it's about a half-hour climb, something like that. But that was very, very slow. I'm not there yet, but it's feeling very slow, but it's definitely doable. There we go, that's the first col done, and we're now entering. And there's the high country. I'm not staying in it for long. We're heading down a cracking descent on a main road, sadly, but quite a fast one, good for 80. Richard Carapaz has got the KOM on it. Wow. Now, admittedly, that is the arse end of El Penedès de Bray's wine cathedral. The front is covered in incredible tiles, all depicting, well, wine drinking mostly. A lot of pissed up folk. But it's the inside of the building that really shines. It's an incredible, well, it's artistry in brick. Really quite outstanding. So we're just coming up on the next test. Now, these last year and a bit that I've been struggling to keep within 135 beats per minute, I've been able to do it on the climbs because I've stopped and let my heart come back below that limit. But where I fail miserably to keep within that 135 limit is on descents, because I absolutely adore descents and I tend to go up them a bit. And what I never realised is the effect of adrenaline. So it's been over 160 on descents just from the adrenaline. So the next test is here, which is quite a swoopy descent. Doesn't involve pedalling beyond, if I was going to go for it, I'd be sprinting now. So I won't do that. But I'll be interested to see how high my heart rate goes just doing sort of 80 odd kilometers an hour down this. So let's find out. I might have to maybe just a little hint. That was good fun. Wasn't flat out, but it was 78 kilometers an hour, which is quite nice. I don't know if you can see the river or the village, but Benify is sort of locally famous for being the most northerly point in Spain that you can grow oranges commercially. So at the beginning of the season, you can see a lot of lorries and trucks from Northern Europe come to Benify to pick up oranges, early oranges, and of course it's a shorter journey for them than going down to the main production area, which is around Valencia. So now the only test remaining is the distance test. Am I going to start cracking up as the kilometers roll up? Beautiful view of the Ports mountain range, the Ports de Pesete. So if you remember, a few weeks ago we were on the other side of this range, just in some absolutely beautiful, beautiful country. So that's the Via Verde right there, the old railway line. It is a beauty, but it's still just dropping down off the high plains of Spain down to our level, and once they match up we will nip onto it. Oi, oi. Surprisingly dead for such a great tunnel. I need to tell you about these. They're just garden plants in the UK, Spartium juncium, but they grow wild here. And their scent is absolutely out of this world. It's incredible. Anyway, we're on the Via Verde. Now I'm hoping that the tunnels are illuminated. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, we're in trouble. Oh, this is dire. The lights haven't come on. They always work in this one. This is going to be awkward. I'm going to have to use my phone even. Good echo. I can like that. Not very fast. Disconcerting. Right, so we've got some pretty bits of the Via Verde next before we hit the main city of Tortosa. You know, I've even got something to say about these cuttings. You can see, let's show you, this is a conglomerate. It's like concrete, but it's just silt, and if you look, completely rounded, smooth river stones. So we're actually in the bed of the Ebro, as it was, I don't know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years ago. And now it's dropped and it's over there somewhere. There's a very, very strong smell here, and it's that field. Can you see it's just got a low crop in it? It's coriander. The whole countryside smells of coriander. No, mustn't. Mrs. Yakko would. Oh, there is a house here. Yeah, Mrs. Yakko would kill me if I came up with any more animals. There's an old watchtower here because it's the Ebro Valley. It was raided significantly over the centuries. So they put these watchtowers up and down. Well, we're 53 kilometres in. It's just turned surprisingly colder, and the clouds are now building quite strongly over there to the southwest. So we need to go down another 17 kilometres to get to Amposta, so we can cross the Ebro and then start the leg back. But I've realised that we're about to leave Tortosa without me telling you the tale of the trail. Alright, it's one you've heard before. When Tortosa was being swapped between the Moors and the Christians, the Moors were attacking. The Christians put up a fierce resistance, really fierce. It took months for the Moors to get in, but get in they did. And they were so cheesed off about it. They sacked the city and they looted and they raped. And then they left because Tortosa didn't have a standing army. So when the army of the day eventually got there, the Moors knew they were going to be outnumbered, so they scarpered But it didn't stop them 3 years later from just coming back again, because the Christian lords couldn't afford to keep a standing army in Tortosa, but they returned. The male population of Tortosa thought, well, they got in anyway, and they did all that looting and raping, so why don't we just let them in, just not fight? We'll let them in. Okay, they might rape the women, but at least they won't loot us, or maybe they won't kill us. And so they decided they weren't going to put up a resistance at all. And the women of Tortosa thought, you utter bastards, we're not having that. So the women decided they were going to fight, and fight they did. And they armed themselves whatever came to hand. Pitchforks, knives, axes, hatchets, and they fought off the Moorish army, unlike the men who had lost just a few years earlier. They fought them off. I think they were probably rather more determined, because they knew what would happen to them if they failed. I mean, they would have been raped and killed. And they fought them off. And when the Christian army turned up expecting to have to lift the siege or kick out the Moors, they found that the city hadn't even fallen. And to reward the defenders, when they found out they were women, they knighted the lot of them. They set up a new order, and all of the women defenders were knighted. I believe over 500. And they became the Order of the Hatchet, because that's what they'd used. And they got a coat of arms and everything. Unfortunately, it didn't last. It was a lifetime peerage. It wasn't able to pass down to their children. So when the last of them died, that was it. No more order. And that is this week's Tale from the Trail. So we're back next to the Right Canal, and that irrigates all of this land, which is usually rice paddies. They're not afraid of their major building project here. This yet again is one of the high-speed Abbey links. Massive Great Viaduct. Thankfully now off the main road and just heading into Amposta, which used to be a coastal town, but now it's tens of kilometres from the sea, because the delta has been formed. And now we're crossing the absolutely stunning, gorgeous suspension bridge over the Ebro. Can't show you very easily, if at all. A bit too busy for that. So the delta's out that way. These are obviously, well, not obviously, these are rice fields in front. Very, very basic watchtower. You wouldn't have a lot of space in there, would you? Wow. Even the farmhouses have got little watchtowers that... Right, well, we've just gone past 70 kilometres. I'm feeling completely fine. I know I should have had a stop, but I haven't yet. I'm just really enjoying it. Look, it's a field of artichokes. So this town, Aldea, is pretty much been forgotten. used to be on this main road, 340. There wasn't any other. So there's now no reason for anyone to come to Aldea. And without being too disrespectful to the town, I'm not sure why you would in the first place. So I had been getting a bit concerned that I didn't know where I was. I was on the route that I'd selected, but we've rejoined a road that I recognise from being out with the boys. So a quick shout out to Col, Tractor Tim and Mountain Man Dave. They've shown me the way. Literally. But we're just entering Camales. And whatever they once were, these towns that are right on the edge of the Ebro Delta have become almost seasonal towns with a lot of migrant labour living in them just for the season, the cropping season, the planting season. And this and Aldea are both very similar in that way. And what's sad about it is that they don't get a lot of money spent on their infrastructure, unlike so many of the other towns. It's a lovely little town, Emporia. It really is. It is a resort. It does have badly potholed roads. And strange sculptures, long-legged men with small heads. But it's really low-key. Loads of restaurants. It's very much a Spanish resort, not so many foreigners. Even definitely feeling it, so I'm gonna cut it a little short. Today's ride was actually going to be 139 kilometers, whereas coming this way it would be 120. I haven't stopped yet. Well, I'm definitely regretting this choice. It's a slow climb. It's 3-4 degrees and it's incredibly boring. Oh, thankfully coming off that dual carriageway was quite unpleasant. Not the traffic, just how dull it was. I've been on the bike for 4 hours 38 minutes. I know I wanted a test, but so Pelayo means windmill, I think. That's rather sweet, isn't it? Just going to have a little break. First 2 bars are shut. Now, I had every intention of stopping in that town, and I haven't. I have no idea why. I'm pretty knackered. If I push on for home now, it's going to be a heck of a ride in one go. Oh well. Very black clouds where we're going. We're on 95 kilometres. I don't think I'm any more tired than I would be normally. Not my fittest, maybe not, but I was expecting to do this ride, so I haven't done any preparation at all. It's just starting to spot. I've got about 15 kilometers to go, so I don't think I'm going to make it. I just can't. Mrs. Yakko's happy to come and get me. I'm happy for her to come and get me. It's going to end up being about 110, maybe 115 kilometers, which is a really nice ride for me. Longest I've done in a long time. So I think that's going to be it. Ending on a bit of a whimper, and I don't think I'll be able to put my hand over the screen to say goodbye because I'm going up a hill in the wrong gear. We'll try it, shall we? So until the next one, thanks for watching. Whoa, 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 it's coming. Whoa, whoa. I'm actually loving it. I'm loving the rain. Cracking.